Good evening, StreamYard and YouTube fans. This is Philip Reynolds. I have to apologize. Thank you, Chris, for letting me know that I didn't have any sound. My sound was off, um, or I actually didn't have my headset on. Without my headset, there is no sound. But I thought I'd come in and let you know kind of how my uh, draft day went with my fantasy football. So this is part four. And I showed you my game plan. Yeah, I showed you my game plans for my fantasy football, and I kept them. I'm keeping this for next year to look back off of. Uh, but I'm going to run down. Okay. Yeah, Chris, I inadvertently forgot to put my headset on. That's my fault. So excuse me. But I came on to basically share with everybody what my fantasy football picks were, how my draft went, and stuff like that. Originally, I had as planned for my selections: tight end, running back, wide receiver, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, defense, kicker, running back, wide receiver, running back, wide receiver, and defense and kicker. That was my initial plan uh, of action for my fantasy football draft. The first pick I picked Travis. For me was Travis Kelsey. He was a tight end, so that was as planned. I got Eckler, and I think he's with the Chargers. He was the number. He was number 3 overall. Um, and he was a running back. Third, I picked Ezekiel Elliott. He's a running back. I had originally planned to pick a wide receiver. Uh, I picked Burrows, fourth quarterback. That was as planned. I picked up Lazard from Green Bay, wide receiver. He's a wide receiver. I initially had planned a running back. Picked up Robinson. He's a receiver. That's who I had selected. I picked up Wilson from the Seahawks, quarterback at 7. Originally a tight end. My 8 pick was supposed to be a quarterback, but I got my tight end at 8. Uh, at 9 and 10, I got running backs, Gibson and Jones, and I had selected running back and wide receiver. At the 11 and 12 slot, this was spot on. I got Dallas's defense, and I got Carlson for Vegas. Uh, and then my next 13 and 14, I got Boyd and Gage, both wide receivers. Whereas in my initial selection, I got running back, wide receiver. 15 and 16 were running back, wide receiver. And that's exactly what I selected, running back, wide receiver. That was Madison and Burks. And my last 2 picks, I got Prater, a kicker at 17, whereas in my initial, I choose to select a defense. And my last pick was the Patriots defense, and in my original, I had selection for a kicker. So it's very, very, very pretty much went according to plan. Few deviations here and there, and that's always pretty much the case. Um, but this was my plan of action. I had a B, and C plan. I kept those 3 plans for next year, and I also added what I got for uh, 2021 this for next year. So this will be my plan of action for next year. Created it early, But the thing is you don't always draft the same spot every year. Last year I drafted fourth, and my first round selection was Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback. I thought he was the best possible choice at that spot, so I went with it, and I have to go back and look at how the draft actually went on our fantasy football website to tell you who I picked by position type thing. Uh, but it's always fun. You never know who's going to, what's going to happen. Injuries is the key thing from now on, and then from week 6 to week 14, you got to watch the buys. Make sure that you have a full lineup. Nothing worse than having starting a quarterback who's sitting the bench, or a running back, you're starting number one running back sitting the bench when you could have played somebody that scored you points. Uh, and it's fun. It's exciting. I've been doing it for years. I play my nephew Nathan, who was the number one draft pick. He had the number one draft pick, and he picked Jonathan Taylor from Indianapolis. And I have to say that was a good, solid pick. The only problem I had drafting is I did it via phone. So even though it's live, it's very hard to hear who's picking who. A lot of noise, and you just get all the noise from all over. So I I don't know how well I did with the running backs and the wide receivers, but I was solid on quarterbacks, solid on my tight ends. Did what I wanted to with my kickers and defenses. So we'll see how things go. Uh, will I repeat? No clue, but I'll keep you guys updated as far as how things go. Uh, but you all have a good night. If you like what you see, subscribe, turn on your notifications, add comments down in the comment section down there. I do, whether you realize it or not, I do read them. I do try to post responses to them when I can. And until next time, guys, you take care. Um, the next time me and Chris, hopefully this Friday, do our Strat King of the Hill, I'll have the 68 Tigers. He'll have the Fernando Valenzuela Dodgers. I am putting myself in the lineup this time because I looked at my catcher. I looked at the scorecard, and I think putting myself in the lineup, I might have a chance to steal, possibly maybe get a few more hits. My catcher really didn't perform very well, so I figure I go in and start versus Fernando, see if I could change things up a little bit here and there. I'm still gonna bat fifth. I'm not gonna move myself up to second, but I will bat in that fifth spot. So till next time, guys, you take care. Have a good evening. Thank you, Chris, for showing up.